Hi, I'm Steven.
And I'm Amy.
I've been in treatment-free remission from CML for over 2.5 years. I still try to keep up to date with what's happening in CML.
Being educated is important for any diagnosis. It's important to always just be up to date on the latest trends, see if there's new technologies, new treatment options, or just new ideas for survivorship.
Ultimately, it's one way to make sure I'm getting the best care that I can for myself. This spring, we participated in a conference hosted by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. In it, we listened to a CML presentation from Dr. Jabor at MD Anderson Cancer Center. Here are some of the highlights from that presentation. The 10-year survival rate for CML is now 84 to 90%. Before the year 2000, it was only 10%. This is very good news and continues to show that CML is a disease that most of us can live with. There are now 7 approved TKIs for those diagnosed with CML. The 2 newest are asciminib and rodontinib. In addition, there are 3 TKIs far along in trials from various different countries. It's very exciting to have all these options. A lot of the research has shown that regardless of the number of TKI options out there, all TKIs are equal for survivorship. That is, whether you take TKI A or TKI B, your general chance of survivorship is roughly the same with each TKI. What it comes down to is price along with toxicities of the drug. Which drugs impact your body more, but depending on your pre-existing conditions and how you handle the side effects.
Yes, and also availability in your country. Some of the newer generation drugs get you stabilized a little bit quicker, but again, like we said, there's more toxicity in many of them, so you do have to consider that as well.
Right, so your doctor may not prescribe you the newest drug just because the first line drugs work really well and might be better on your body. For CML survivors, the PCR is the most important test to determine the presence of the mutant gene in your body. Researchers have believed that having a PCR of less than 1% is the gold standard, and your chance of survival is very good. In addition, if you're able to get to MMR or major molecular response, which is a PCR of less than 0.1%, this may diminish your likelihood of having a relapse.
Now, if your numbers aren't there right now, please don't be scared. So as long as your PCR continues to go down, we want everyone to please have hope, okay? It does take time for your numbers to come down, and it is hard to be patient, but understand that, first of all, everyone is very different, but that these drugs, for the most part, do work very, very well. So maybe, Steven, you can kind of share.
Right, so it took me about 18 months to get to under 1% and almost 2.5 years to get to MMR or less than 0.1%. Everyone's experience will be different. The biggest and most important key is that your PCR continues to go down from test to test. Now, even if you have a slight increase from one test to the next, one test is not a trend. It's really important to see the direction your PCR is going over multiple tests. And usually that will continue to go down, which is what we want to see.
So even though it took him that long to get to those milestones, MMR, for example, he was still able eventually to go to be in cessation and to go into treatment-free remission. And one of the other things that I thought was really important about the recent trends in CML is that there's a lot of interest in treatment-free remission. So scientists are studying that more and doing more research on that. And there's just a general hope that more people can get to that point where they can go off the drug.
Yes, I think the doctors are realizing that it's not ideal to be on these drugs long-term. And so if they can help more patients stop the drugs safely and not have the CML come back, then that's in everyone's best interest. So very exciting times in the world of CML for sure.
If you would like more videos about CML or healthy living, please subscribe. Thank you for watching today.
Together we heal.